How to become a Nerf Assassin or Hitman. Get out your tricked out Nerf gun and your ski mask, it's assassin time. Nerf Assassin or Nerf Hitman is a popular game on some college campuses, high schools, or at sleep-away camps where a group of people sees each other regularly and can always be on guard. The game continues until all participants are eliminated, so it's helpful to play with people you're likely to run into on a regular basis. It requires at least 3 players. You can start your own game or join a game already in progress. See Step 1 for more information. Part 1: Learning the rules. 1. Learn the basic rules. In Assassin, each player receives an assignment on a card, or sometimes via text. That assignment will be the name of one other player in the Assassin game. The goal of the game is to eliminate that player, either directly or indirectly, with your Nerf gun. Most games require a kill shot in which the dart hits the victim on the head or torso. You're not allowed to defend yourself until you see another player actively trying to eliminate you. Keep your assignment card with you at all times. In the instance, you need to prove your target to the referee. 2. Find a group of willing players. You need a group of at least 3 people, along with an unbiased referee or organizer who can assign the hits, keep track of the score, and organize the game. If you're joining a game already in progress, there might already be a set of rules already in place that the referee will make you aware of. Listen closely and play by the rules to have a good time. If you don't like the way a particular game is organized, start your own with your own specific set. 3. Set a time limit. Some games will play with a time limit of an hour or 10 minutes before all eliminated players respawn and the game can start over. It tends to create some sense of urgency to put a time limit on each round, but play the way you want. All games work differently, so you can customize the game to your particular interests. 4. Designate safe zones. Often cafeterias and certain campus areas are considered off-limits and are to be treated as safe zones in which you can't be eliminated. Players who are employed will also typically include their workplace as an off-limits location. It's typically against the rules to turtle and never emerge from out of the safe zones. It's no fun if you're never out in the open. 5. Pick direct or indirect gameplay. Some Assassin games only allow players to be eliminated with kill shots from the Nerf gun itself, while other games have expanded somewhat to allow for other types of indirect elimination, like poisoning, bombing, and other types of kills. Slipping a Nerf dart or piece of paper labeled poison is sometimes permissible, as is sending the person a Nerf dart to act as an explosive. Indirect methods of play will vary somewhat. 6. Before starting a game, make sure you've got an accommodating place to play. Some college campuses have outlawed Assassin after a series of misunderstandings and complaints. If you're going to be running around with Nerf guns shooting each other, make sure you're not going to get in trouble before you do. Clearing it up first will make sure everyone has a good time without worrying. Most campuses won't allow games to take place during class time or in campus buildings. Use precaution and make sure you abide by their rules. Let your neighbors know that your friends might be creeping around your house with Nerf guns so they won't call the cops on you. 7. Contact the administrator or referee when you've been eliminated. Typically, it's the job of the administrator to make everyone else aware of the eliminated players, and it's the job of the eliminated player to let the referee know they're no longer in play. Typically, games will last for several days at a time and might involve several rounds in which targets are switched or refigured. In some games, once you've killed a player, you'll collect their hit card, giving you a new target. In games played in this way, the game continues until all players have been eliminated but one. Part 2, Strategizing. 1. Be discreet. Running headfirst at your target the first time you see them is a good way to get eliminated in defense. You need to play it cool and stalk your target for a while to learn their patterns and their hideouts. Be aware of the safe zones and figure out places in which you might lay in wait for your target. Some games have special designations about witnesses. If you're playing under these kind of discrete rules, no one is allowed to see you eliminate another player without incurring penalties. Sometimes, too many witnesses might trigger eliminated players to be called back up with you as their target. Be aware of these rules and use discretion. 2. Get inside your target's head. What kind of a player is your target? Reckless? Conservative? Where do they live? Where would they hide? What will be your best possible way of finding them alone and taking them out? Once you start learning to think like your opponent, you're closer to victory. 3. Get close and stay close. Typically, players will be overly cautious, but you might consider trying to strike up a foe alliance and get close to another player, tracking them, staying on top of their movements and letting them lower their guard around you. Keep a lookout for a good opportunity to strike. It might be tempting to employ other friends who aren't in on the game and try to get them to do your dirty work. Typically, this is illegal. 4. Take your time. Let opportunities reveal themselves rather than forcing your hand. Don't worry about jumping headfirst into firing all your bullets. Wait for the opportune moment and then strike. Learn to be aware as you go about your daily routines, keeping ready to move at a moment's notice. It keeps the game exciting and fun. 5. Switch up your patterns. Don't forget to play defense, too. Take different routes home and learn to stick close to the safety zones during play. Learn the other player's whereabouts during a particular day so you can avoid those areas and try to plot routes that will keep you safe. Part 3, Playing the part. 1. Get the gear. Obviously, a Nerf gun is pretty critical, but dark clothing and knee pads, elbow pads, and some leather gloves work great to get you into the spirit of things. What about binoculars and sunglasses? Why not? Popular varieties of Nerf guns include the Rapid Strike, the Centurion, the Elite Strife, the Vortex Diatron. 2. Learn to move with your gear. It helps to be able to run around a little bit, so you should be in shape and ready to move. If you can outrun your assassins, you'll be in good shape to come out on top. 3. Practice a bit with your Nerf gun. Even the super expensive varieties aren't necessarily the most accurate toys out there. If you jump into the game without practicing, you're going to wait for the perfect opportunity to eliminate someone and misfire and end up out of the game and feeling dumb. Practice shooting at cans and other targets to get a sense of how your Nerf gun behaves. Tips. Stay fit. Warnings. Police and even bomb squads have been called in as a result of people playing assassin without letting bystanders know there's a game going on. Don't be stupid and get the game outlawed. Be sure to let any concerned lookers know that you're playing a game. Things. Nerf guns. Gear. Uniform, for assassin. Place to get fit. Place to play Nerf.